soon as he sees himself bleeding, he passes out. So we take the guy, we book the guy for basically attempted murder. What we found out was we started looking around the area in between the alley and the boardwalk, and we found a knife. He had thrown it in the grass when he was running away. So we booked him, you know, for assault with intent, is actually what it is. We found out after we booked the guy that that he had been convicted. He had 2 other convictions, and in Maryland you have a 3-strike rule. You get convicted a 3rd time, bye-bye, see you later. And so we also found out that he had, what the whole story was, that he and his brother, oh my gosh, I just remember their name, Smitley, James Smitley was the guy's name, and he and his brother Andrew had a rap sheet a mile long in Maryland. And what they had done is, this guy, the guy that got stabbed, was in a bar, and he was flashing a big wad of bills. He was like on vacation, and he's flashing this big roll of money. And James and Andrew made buddies with him and said, hey, we know this great bar down the street, you want to come with us? So he, you know, so he comes with them, he's already a little drunk. They walk him down into this alley, and then beat him up. The knife belonged to him. They took his own knife out of the little sheath in his belt and stabbed him with his own knife. And suffice it to say, I took a long time with this story, but I got excited because it's a new question. But I testified against the guys, and they were both convicted, and I think like 25 years or something. So anyway. But then the police department found out that I made videos, and they're like, we want you to be the face of the Ocean City Police Department. And so I started making these stupid commercials, like PSA. I'm Officer Mignon of the Ocean City Police Department.
You still have those?
Yes, I do, and you'll never see them. All right, question. Yes. Yes. Can you have a hug? Do your arms work like this? Then let's see. Come here. Yeah. Thank you, sweetie. Yes. See what you started?
You brought it up!
What is your name? Trisha? We're all singing happy birthday to Trisha. Okay? That's Trisha. Alright? Everybody? Stand up, Trisha. Take your punishment. Stand up. Stand on your chair. No, I'm just kidding. Come here. All right, now we're going to sing to Trisha. Everybody ready? Happy birthday to you. Trisha. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Trisha. Happy birthday to you. Yes.
When doing the voice for Broly, did you ever get too into character?
Well, if by getting too into character means that my larynx fell on the ground, yes. You guys, Broly was a throat ripper. And he sounds like it, if you think about it. I mean, I was so excited when they asked me to play that role because I was like, sweet, I'm gonna get to be in Dragon Ball Z, this is awesome. And then I got into the studio, right? And they're like, okay, now he yells Kakarot, he powers up for 45 seconds. I'm like, sweet, here we go. And I start yelling and screaming, and in about an hour, I'm like, kill me. Please, kill me. Kakarot. I was gone, and I was really scared because I'd never lost my voice that bad. And the worst part was, like, when we finished movie 8, I'm like, thank you, God. Oh, Father, thank you. Broly's finally dead. You see, they're laughing because nobody dies in Dragon Ball Z. That's why they're laughing. Sure enough, movie 10, he's back. I'm like, wait a minute, he died in movie 8. I'm like, no, he's resurrected. And I'm like, so I go back up and I do movie 10, and this time I try to be a little more careful with the whole Brody. And he gets killed at the end of the movie. God, thank you. I worship you forever, thank you. He's gone, he's dead. Movie 11! He's cloned. Now that could actually happen. And now he doesn't even talk. He just... And you know, Kakarot, he works out, he gets a Kakarot out every once in a while, but that's about it. He looks like a pile of Jell-O. Green Jell-O. So then, he dies, and I'm like, telling, I'm like in the producer's office going, please tell me there's no more of this, please. He's like, no, you're right. He doesn't show up in the movies anymore. He's finally dead. I'm like, thank you, God. Video games! Budokai 1, Budokai 2, Budokai 3, 10, 2, how many of them? I don't even know. So like when I get a call from the studio that there's another Dragon Ball Z game and Broly's in, this is how the call goes. Oh, it's the studio. Hello? Hey Vic, it's Andrew. Hey Andrew, what's up? Dude, I'm sorry. That's how he starts the conversation. He's back. Question. Yes.
What's your favorite line you've done as Ed?
Favorite line is Ed. Wow, there's so many. There's so many awesome lines. Somebody wrote me one. What? Yeah. No, you know what's one that I loved that somebody wrote me one time, and I didn't even remember saying it until I saw it in one of the episodes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did say that. Remember when he said something like, there's so many people whose asses I have to kick. I'm gonna have to keep a list just to keep track of them. I love that line. But you know, my favorite lines of Ed's are the ones that like he's real quiet and talking with Al, like the real emotional scenes. I love those. So, you know, the short rants are fun and everything, but they kind of take their toll on you too. But the quiet stuff is my favorite stuff. Yes?
How long did it take for them to convince you to do a calculus bleach?
Oh my gosh, how long did it take them to convince me? No, it was more like me begging them. See, you guys bleach. I love Ikaku too. He's awesome, isn't he? He's awesome and bold. And he's cool. He's lucky. Lucky. You know what? I wanted to be in Bleach, and the problem is that Bleach is recorded in LA, and I was living in Houston. So as I was doing video games and stuff, because you can get out there and do a video game in a few days, you're done. But a recurring role in a show, you got to be there every few weeks when they recorded new episodes. And they didn't want to. I auditioned for several things in LA, and they just didn't want to take the chance that I would screw up their schedule by not being able to get out there when they needed me. So they didn't want to cast anybody from out of town. And I did a couple of bit things for them, and then finally they let me read for a couple of roles that were coming up in Bleach, and I recorded an audition for Ikaku and got cast, and I love Ikaku. He's awesome. I have a friend who had an Ikaku costume made for me. Like, custom made from Japan. So now I have to get like a skull cap because there's no chance I'm shaving my head. And like, yes, and a red, yeah, and his little red eye markings. Yes, I love Ikaku. Question? Yes.
Speaking of Ikaku, can you sing his Lucky Dance?
I don't know his Lucky Dance. I'm such a loser. You guys, you know what the funny thing is about lines that characters do in shows is we do it once, if we're lucky. If we're lucky and we nail it and we do it and it matches the flaps of the character's mouth and it's a good performance, then we're done. We move on. So I don't remember a lot of the lines because I only had to do them once or twice. I just remember. I remember, like, you know, lucky, lucky, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky as me. That's all I remember. But I know he was doing this funny little dance, too, and I don't remember it. In fact, be careful, because I usually invite people up here to do the dance for everybody, so. Yes, ma'am.
I know you're probably sick of telling stories, but can you tell the donut story?
No!
Yes, I'll tell it for you. Mostly because she doesn't want to hear it. How many of you, well, I tell you what, let's see a show of hands. How many of you have heard the donut story?
Over 9,000 times.
You. How many of you, maybe it's better, how many of you have not heard the story? Oh, you totally lose! Okay, here's the story, and I'll do it quick, I promise, because I've told it a lot of times. And I know it's on YouTube, so for those of you who know it, I apologize in advance.
It's cool.
We were doing a scene in one of the episodes of Full Metal where Ed got punched in the face.